We're through the opening 2 rounds of this year's Wimbledon Championships, and so far the women's side of things is shaping up to be a great tournament. Let's recap those opening 2 rounds. What's up, everybody? It's John Eric Pauli here to recap those first 2 rounds of this year's Wimbledon Championships. Like I said there in the introduction, it's been a fun tournament on the women's side of things. So with that being said, let's get started today by reviewing the good, the bad, and the ugly by starting, as always, with the good. And I'm going with Coco Gauff here. If you're on the side of Team Gauff, you got to like the way not only Gauff is playing, which is excellent here so far in her first 2 matchups. She's only lost a total of 6 points throughout this tournament, 3 in each match. She's looking very good, and she also has a very good draw in this year's tournament. It's definitely shaping up good here for Coco Gauff. You got to be really happy with her as this tournament is going along. Also, want to give a quick shout out to, in this category of the good, to the world number 1, Iga Swiatek. For Swiatek, as you guys know, the grass surface on her don't usually necessarily go along like it does for Iga and that red clay surface, but right now, Iga's looking pretty good. We know she has a tough draw, or it's going to be an uphill battle for her, but you have to like what you've seen out of Iga Swiatek so far. She's definitely increased her miles per hour on her forehands, on her serve. We've seen her volleying a little bit more in that round 2 matchup there, so Iga's definitely at least making the effort to try to make a run and get aggressive and go after this Wimbledon championship. Nice to see from Iga despite this bad draw that she has. And guys, really quickly, quick honorable mention here in the good category. Jelena Ostapenko playing very well through her opening 2 rounds. We'll see, there may even be an eventual matchup between Swiatek and Ostapenko, who Swiatek, for as dominant as she's been, cannot beat Ostapenko. All right, guys, with that being said, let's move along now here today to the bad category. And for me, I have to go with very upsetting news here. The shoulder injury to Aryna Sabalenka. First off, just want to say, wishing Sabalenka a very speedy recovery. One of the best players here on tour. She's so fun to watch. And for her, too, this tournament I thought was absolutely set up for her. She had a fantastic draw. She has the game to be dominant on grass. And just when you think, here comes Sabalenka going to win another major championship, or has a very, very, very good shot of doing so, this injury comes along. It's very upsetting news. It's very sad to see her not in a tournament. Everybody loves to watch her play. Hopefully she's going to have a speedy recovery, and we'll see her here in the later parts of the year. All right, guys, let's move along now to end today with the ugly category. I have 2 people in this category. We're going to get started with Marketa Vondrousova. Vondrousova, last year's champion, already out, losing in round 1. Very disappointing to see. When I was doing my, previews and predictions and whatnot ahead of this year's Wimbledon, I actually had Vondrousova as one of the favorites to win it this year because we just saw her win it last year. She was coming off a very good clay season. And then we see her lose in the first round. She's in a category with Steffi Graf, in which, every time you think that's going to be something good because Steffi Graf's absolutely incredible in her career, this is actually a category you don't want to be with Steffi Graf. Vondrousova becomes the first player to lose in Wimbledon in the first round the year after winning the tournament, since Steffi Graf did that back in 1994. Not a good look for Vondrousova. All right, now to end, one more person in the ugly category here, and it is Jessica Pegula. Pegula, a lot of high hopes coming into this year's Wimbledon. She looked great on grass in the lead up to this tournament. She didn't play in the French Open, was dealing with some injuries. And we know that this year hasn't been the prettiest either for Pegula, right? She split up with her coach earlier in the year, had to pull out of that French Open there, but she looked very good in the lead up to Wimbledon. This was a big opportunity to kind of get reset for the year, make a big splash, make the big run that we all know she's capable of doing. Fails to do so, losing in round 2. Very upsetting to see for Pegula. So that was my recap there of the opening 2 rounds of this year's Wimbledon Championships by going over the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video, and I hope that you guys have enjoyed the coverage so far of Wimbledon. Make sure that you guys keep following along here for more coverage, as I will continue to provide it as this tournament carries on.